coworker went to Syracuse.
Oh, I'm not sure if he's been on the course of Sorry.
Yeah, it was plenty tough up there.
Yeah, tell me about it. It's always just like you never know. And then, the issue I put through, he's an NC State fan.
Come on, you're not having it.
He grew up in Durham.
Oh,
you were
I
there.
was there.
I was gonna
He's been
say,
there
like,
for
I
five
see you
seasons.
here all the time.
I know, he's been here for 5 seasons, and, I've been with him for almost 4 of those, so
Who's their
this.
favorite?
Boston.
Oh, nice, that's cool.
Yeah, I really feel like the only time I was able to see him was at the
There.
game.
They just opened that job back up, I think it's the same station. You see that?
One of the,
Greenville job?
WHNS,
I don't know, it's called.
Boston.
a joke if you got it done.
Right, all the best jokes you have to explain. That's what I've always said.
We're like literally in the middle of the state,
Okay.
like, yeah, right?
Well, so I work on the third, the number 3 college football show, and they call it a 6-day pick. So they won't tell you where you're going until 6 days because it depends. So, in all the years I've been doing this, I've never done one school more than 3 times in a year.
Wow.
Because you go around and do a lot of SEC stuff, whatever. We did 6 LSU games.
Oh, wow.
It was unheard of. They were like, I don't think one crew has ever done the same thing. The good thing was is, Brian Calvin's like, hey, Jeff, how you doing?
Yeah.
So that, it actually helped us, but it was just unheard of. So that's my lazy on that.
We got you today, huh?
Tall Tower 7, Mr. Ruby. Did they let you guys go up there and cover those games?
I was or I covered the LSU Alabama game. Were you at that one?
Yeah, that's a good atmosphere.
Oh, yeah. So they're about 3 hours. I'm in Shreveport.
Okay.
So we're about 4.5 from there. So we could, it's just there's not a.
I did the bowl game, I can't remember which one it was. It's just, yeah, it wasn't great.
You know, it's a cool thing for the city.
Mhm.
And it's
Which bowl? What bowl?
Independence Bowl.
Independence Bowl, yeah.
Had some bad luck with weather. Like this year was the coldest day of Shreveport history. Was this year?
Oh.
It was 5 degrees.
No.
Wow.
You're good.
Which,
Yeah.
and the year before that it was 30 and raining. So
Yeah,
it's
I think one of my buddies went a couple years ago, yeah, they said it was really nice.
it was the only time in I wanted to do it 2.5 years, but it was the only time that I really felt like it was about 10. I looked up, it was about 10 minutes left in the second half or first half. I'm like, this is it. Yeah, this is where it ends for me.
Frostbite.
Right. So, but I think it's unique getting schools to come to a place where there's no college football in Shreveport.
Mhm.
So it's very unique. Gives
Right.
people a chance to see it,
Mhm.
Anybody got a stat sheet?
All right, we got Coach Corey Gibson and all tournament selection, DeMarcus Sharp, Jalen Hampton, both guys all tournament. Jalen had his 6th double-double of the year. DeMarcus had his 6 30-point games, second time this year he's going back-to-back 30-point games. And we'll open it to Coach.
Coach, your comments on the game?
Yes, number one, my heart really goes out to Terrion Murdix. It really sank during the game when he went out. One thing about life is that, yeah, we didn't get the outcome we wanted, guys, but that was one of our brothers over there at Texas A&M Corpus Christi. He was our Southland brother, and when you see a guy go down like that, okay, we could act extremely upset about not getting the outcome we want. The way that looked. In my time of being around sport, he's going to have a major surgery. You know what I mean? So just keeping a clear view on how things work. And I thought that Corpus Christi was very brave in how they rallied around that. And what we talked about in the locker room is that when you get ahead in life, okay, you can't stop doing what you did to get it when you get ahead. And sometimes things that we go through on the court translates to off the court. But what happens is sometimes in life when we get ahead, we stop doing the things that we did to get ahead. I really felt like to start the game, because Murdix was playing, we saw him go down yesterday. I thought because he started the game that they believed they were ahead because they had beaten us twice. And then when he went down, they became bankrupt. And what happens is when you become bankrupt, okay, you'll do anything to get ahead. You'll take any job, even if you don't have a craft or a skill set to do it. And guys on that team that hadn't played much, that hadn't been productive throughout the year, they found a way to activate themselves and do a job to pull back from behind. And that's impressive. And throughout my career, when I've experienced that on other staffs, I become wary when the guy goes down, because there's somebody over there thirsty, ready to get an opportunity to prove himself or herself, whether they playing a men's or a women's sport. And I thought they were very valiant and very brave in how even the freshman, number 12, he realized that he had to find a way and make a way. And so him doing what he did, they rallied around it, and it gave them the edge for the game. Number 12 was the edge for the game. Number 12 was the MVP of the tournament. I don't know who got the MVP of the tournament. Okay, they probably gave it to somebody that's a known player. I'm not sure. But number 12 was the MVP of the tournament.
Coach, what is the future of Northwestern State basketball? Where do you guys go from here after today?
The future is very bright. You know, you take a program that hadn't had a winning season in 7 years. I mean, doggone. It's bright because these young men laid it on the line. It's not anything that I did or I would give the staff credit. It's not anything I did. I mean, the staff, you know, they do a lot of heavy lifting behind closed doors. And these guys, they take a lot from us. We put a lot on them, and I think sometimes that we put an expectation on them that they don't really like. Okay, you take DeMarcus for instance. I'll pick on him a little bit. As well as DeMarcus scores, okay, he really would rather not do that. That kind of gives you some insight of how great of a player he really is. You know, DeMarcus would rather play in the game and have 15 assists and have 13 points. And so we got to a point in the season where DeMarcus was playing the same way he played at his previous school, where he just passed the ball all the time. And he was content with doing it. But you also look at his story of the amount of surgeries he had before he got here. He didn't do anything with us in the summer. You know, he has a steel rod in one of his legs. He has screws in one of his other feet. But the fact that he had the mental fortitude to come back and be able to play is very impressive. It says a lot about his character. And it says a lot about how he goes about his business. Because a lot of people had written him off for damaged goods. And so, like, it's big ups to him for being able to bounce back like he did. And this is good medicine for him, even though he doesn't realize it. This is the best medicine, okay? I welcome these interviews more than I welcome the one yesterday, because then I get to show who I really am as a person. And then you take the young man over here. I mean, how special is he? I mean, what type of future does he have? I mean, the future speaks for itself. I mean, these are some amazing young men. I won't go down the whole roster, but, you know, and then I mentioned Hansel Emmanuel. I mean, is he a defender or what? I mean, doggone. You know, I think some people thought that he was just here for a dog and pony show, right? I don't know a player in sport, period, that has more pressure on himself or herself more than him. I mean, he's a global sensation. He came to Northwestern State and didn't get any playing time at all. But he worked and worked and worked, and he got himself in the starting lineup. I think that's the type of stuff to where you got a program that's taking a guy that some people would say that is a handicap, and he's turned into an inspiration to the world. Shoot, I think that right there describes it all in a nutshell.
DeMarcus, you come to a place that you probably had never even heard of before Coach takes this job, and you guys are able to do something really special. Like Coach said, first winning season in 7 years. Just what does this group mean to your basketball journey?
I mean, it means a lot to me. I mean, they push me, you know, on and off the court, man. I mean, without these guys, I'm nothing, man. And I just want to thank these guys for everything they do for me. I want to thank the coaches as well. I mean, we had a, you know, exciting journey. I mean, the journey is not over still. I mean, still got the NIT like Coach says, but, you know, it sucks, you know, losing this one because this the one we really wanted. But like he said, we still got more to, you know, still accomplish, and I just feel like we gonna be good.
Jalen, this first postseason experience for you, your college career, especially today, the atmosphere was electric. Just your thoughts on your performance, and what are some of the lessons that you feel like you can take away from a day like this?
I feel like I can take away, like, you know, like better defense, taking charges, helping, like more helps out on my teammates. You know, when they get drove by, you know, I could step in and take more charges.
Yes, sir.
What do these seniors mean to you? What has it been like?
Like big brothers to me, you know, leaders, role models. Like, you know, like they take me under their wing, show me the game, show me different ways I can do different things, and show me different ways I can score and be a better player, better person.
Coach, what does a loss like this do for next season? A lot of teams, when they're in a position like this, they talk about that chip on their shoulder.
Well, DeMarcus used a term that we don't use, but he's a bit emotional right now, so we use it. So we don't use loss in the program; we use outcome. And so we have a phrase that we use is that you only lose when you don't learn from the situation. Now this can turn into a loss. It can turn into it if we don't learn from some things. But I really think that this can turn into a win because, you know, when you get sick, you have to take medicine. And so this is medicine for us. And we have to choke it down. Even when it's nasty, my grandma used to say, baby, you gotta choke it down when it's nasty. So this is a situation that we can choke down. And if we choke it down and we swallow it and digest it, it can really turn out into something beautiful. Because adversity brings about the most beautiful things in the world. And so we can take this adverse situation and turn it to something really sweet. And these guys have done that all year. You know, they've gone through some ups and some downs because they were so mentally wrapped around not turning something into a loss. We were able to progress throughout the year, even when we had some downs. So this group knows how to pull it back together.
Yeah, question for all three of you guys. I mean, talk about the support. I mean, I'm out here running purple. Talk about the support that you got from Nackers all throughout, not just this tournament, but throughout the year for you guys.
I mean, it's huge for us, man. Like, Nackers, they show a lot of love. I mean, you know, even when adversity hits, you know, we don't get the outcome we want. I mean, they always there for us. They always, you know, show up to games and love on us. You know, sometimes you need love, and they show it.
Seeing the fan base from the first game to the last game is crazy. To see the fan base that we built, you know, like they stuck with us through wins and losses. So it's just great seeing the fan base and the support we got this year.
I ditto what they say. We had some electric moments in Prather, just the student body and the band and everybody coming out. You know, we have the faithful ones that didn't try to jump on the wagon, but they pushed the wagon from day one. And those are the people in life that help you get along, is the ones that help push that wagon. So we were very fortunate to have, you know, some wagon pushers. And also want to give credit to the administration. Okay, and I'm a no-name guy, guys. I'm a no-name guy. I didn't come from a Power 5 program. I was at a mid-major program. Didn't have any 30 under 30s or 40 under 40 rap behind my name in regards to in coaching terms. And you take an administration that saw the angel in the stone. They saw a guy that doesn't have a social media account. Never tried to promote himself, to say who he recruited or who was his or we did this as a program. And they gave a guy like that, which is unheard of in this day and time, an opportunity. And really blessed for that. And it'd be nice if more administrations would really dive into it and not try to win the popularity contest in the press conference and go to mid-major and low-major programs and look at assistants that have the ability, that never have an opportunity to go Power 5. And then you never know what you might can get out of that. It's like some people in here, you know, if somebody really take a look at you, some other opportunities out there for you. And so I'm really blessed, me and my family and these guys, you know, to have those type of opportunities. And that's what it's really about.
Coach, leaning off that, in your first year you did something a lot of people didn't expect you to do. Looking back on it, what are kind of things that stick out to you about the season?
What really sticks out, I'm telling you, is the unconditional love that this group has. And I don't say it to try to create a facade. Like, I've never been around a group that loves each other more than this group. I never have. It's real. You know, when the guy from the New York Times came down the other day, he stayed around, which most people don't do. Most people come around, they get their interviews, they take their pictures, and then they leave. When I met him, I knew he was different. Because most people leave, they go eat, they go about their business. This cat stayed around and he was in every nook and cranny. When we went to eat breakfast, he was looking in the wing and in the corner, okay? Like, in practice, he was like watching everything. He was in the huddles. I said, doggone, he trying to catch every raindrop. But before he left, it was a home game. It was a New Orleans game. So I could tell that he wanted to see how we handle that. So he wanted to see, like, are we okay when we just win it? Or does it change when we don't get the outcome? So he was hanging around to see how our face looked, to see how we looked. And so we had a staff meeting. We generally don't meet late after games. We all have families. I believe in, you know, husbands going home with their significant others and wives, et cetera. And one of the coaches said, it was about 11 p.m. They said, Coach, that New York Times guy's still out there. I said, what? So I went out there. I said, man, you still here? It's 11 o'clock. He said, yeah, Coach, I got to ask you some questions. He said, man, you okay, aren't you? I said, yes, sir. I said, we haven't lost it yet. We got to learn from it. He said, mm-hmm. I said, we'll see them again. And that was a New Orleans game. I said, we'll see him again down the road. But this is what he said. He said, when I went to breakfast at Lazione's with you guys, he said, I never seen a team to give fist pounds when they come in the building and hug and say, I love you before they leave the building. He said, at first, I thought that it was just a joke. He said, young men would tell the story. He said, when I saw them do it in real time, say, I love you, Coach, before they left Lazione's, he said, I knew this was something different. He said, now I see why Hansel came here. He said, because he felt something different. He said, now I see why a guy like Shaw, who's been through so many up and downs, I see what type of nourishment he really got to get back to where he is. He said, because you can't have those type of surgeries and get back healthy without love. He said, because the best medicine is love. But he had to come behind closed doors to see it.
Now, Sharp, we all know that you can score. You can score. What was going through your mind at that final possession when you pass it to Black for the 3-point?
I mean, like, we drew up a play for Black, and it was, you know, to get him the ball and him to shoot. I mean, it really didn't go how we, you know, drew it up. But, I mean, I was confident enough to, you know, if he get it up, it's always going to look good. And, I mean, it didn't go down, and we really didn't get the outcome. So, I mean, it is what it is. We move on from this situation and learn.
Let's get one more question, guys.
Coach, the look there, was that what you wanted, the corner three? Or did the play kind of fall apart there?
No, that wasn't the look. So we drew up a ghost play. So he was supposed to ghost the handler, run off the top side of Jalen, and then Jalen was supposed to pivot and then screen Black's man for a jam screen at the top of the key. It wasn't fluid, but they did a great job of defending the play. They did a great job of blowing the play up. Could we have handled it a little differently? I'm sure we could have, but you know, we got to learn from that, and that's just how it goes. I mean, hey, we had a situation where we played Southern Miss and we hit a game winner. Okay, sometimes it goes according to plan, and sometimes it doesn't, and that's just how the cookie crumbled. But they were deserving of this. Let me tell you, we were not deserving of this. Okay, I'm not upset about this. Okay, you have a first team all conference guy or whatever all conference he was, defensive player of the year, goes down, and they rally behind it, guys. Okay, they were deserving. They could have quit. They could have laid down. Okay, so I'm not gonna lose any sleep over a group of guys that mustered it up. Okay, Mushila bust his head yesterday. I thought he was concussed yesterday the way he bust his head. You know, one of the other guys was wrapped up in bandages. You know, for them to dig deep and rally behind themselves after going through all of that, guys, you got to go 2 thumbs up, okay, and pull your big boy pants up and go on about your business. I'm going to walk out of here with a smile on my face, proud of these guys for how they handled themselves this year and done. And I mean, I don't know what record they didn't break this year. It was the best start in 70 years. They beat a top 25 team. They had 20 wins. I mean, they earned over $600 million worth of free earned media for the university with everything that they did this year. I don't even know how many Power 5 schools that have done that. They've done over 1,000 hours of community service. Over 1,000 hours. And I'm going to keep saying it until they get an award for it. Over 1,000 hours of community service. Ain't nobody found an award for me yet. Everybody just keeps smiling at me and say, won't you stop talking about it? Okay? But like, when you get a group, like you know how hard it is to do when you play a sport, you got practice, you got study hall, you got to play games, like you got strength and conditioning, and they still did 1,000 hours worth of community service. Even had we won today, the win would have paled in comparison to them how they served the community. It would have paled in comparison. Like, it's a special group of young men that were willing to serve and do that. And guys, that's really laying it on the line. But they'll never get a whole lot of credit for that in life. Okay, when they graduate, nobody ever come back and say that was the group of young men that did 1,000 hours worth of community service. They won't say it. They won't do it. But they deserve credit for that. If y'all don't find an award for it, I'm going to find one myself.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Markle,
I
I
put that work in shape
wrote
like
this
that.
out.
Yeah.
Just a really, really well put together team.
We also know who the next one
That's
is.
good. That's good. It's nice to see somebody like him.
It'll be announced,
success, too.
it'll be
Yeah.
announced by Monday.
Cares
who it
that
is.
much, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Well, very nice to meet you,
You
sir.
too.
5-year deal.
Travel
I'll
safe.
hopefully see you down the road.
Yes,
Thanks.
sir.
They're just coming in now.
Yeah, the nine game losing streak was what was the axe. I mean, they always. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you were in the post games. Remember when he kept coming in and then and go right back out?
I saw.
You know,
Congratulations. Congrats. Congrats, coach.
Gentlemen, welcome. There's a nice piece of hardware you got on the table there.
Thank you.
Coach, your thoughts on tonight's game, the championship?
Well, I mean, I couldn't be more proud of our program. I couldn't be more proud of these guys. I mean, when you go into a game like this, you never expect to have to overcome your starting point guard and a first-team all-selection, all-conference player, and defensive MVP of the league. You don't expect to have him go down with, whatever, 3, 4, 5 minutes into the game. And my heart just goes out to Terrion Murdix. I mean, he's everything about team, and he put his heart on the line, and unfortunately he had a bad spill, and he has a near injury as a result. And I thought that our guys rebounded well after a while, and we had an initial shock where I don't think that we knew what to do or how to adapt without him. And luckily for us, Jalen took over the game, and that's why he obviously is the MVP of the game. But I just couldn't be more proud of the fight in our guys. I couldn't be more proud of the effort. We obviously got down 14-15 somewhere in the first half, and we got it tied at halftime. So that's just a testament to these guys and what good players they are and what good people they are.
Coach, you guys got down early after the injury. I believe it was 10 or 12. What did you tell them to regroup, because then you obviously tied it up going into halftime?
Yeah, I mean, we missed some shots. Northwestern State, give them credit. They did some things defensively that caused a few problems for us, and we just weren't aggressive, both offensively and defensively. We obviously have been very good in transition, and that's because we've been very good defensively in turning people over. And we weren't that way to start the game for whatever reason, and obviously Terrion going down didn't help that, right? But I just told him to stay with it. Obviously we got to get stops. If we can get stops, then we can get, transition going. And, obviously they weren't going to leave Trey Tennyson. They decided that they weren't going to leave Trey tonight. They weren't leaving Ross tonight. So we started setting ball screens with Trey. Well, obviously when you set a ball screen and you're not going to leave that person, somebody's going to be free. And I thought that was, it got Jalen going and got our team going a little bit.
After teammates seeing an injury like that from one of their teammates, it's easy to get unfocused on a game, especially in one like this. How were you able to keep them focused and regroup after seeing Terrion go down?
Yeah, I mean, for lack of a better word, they were all shell-shocked. I mean, I was shell-shocked. It's everything I could do to not cry on the sideline for that kid, because, again, he's given us everything that he has. And these guys are human. I mean, those are Terrion's best friends with half of them. I mean, he's that guy. And you see him go down, and it takes a little bit of time to regroup. And, when you have good people, when you have guys that care, they're usually going to get themselves out of that little funk. And to their credit, they did.
You mentioned it on the court. Halftime, you said they regrouped and really wanted to play for Terrion. For all three of you, starting with Coach, what was that halftime message?
Oh, we made a couple of adjustments here and there, but really it was more about us. And this whole game and this whole season, this journey's been about us. And I just said we need to stick together. We need to rebound the basketball better, and then we need to attack offensively. And we got the ball to the basket quite a bit in the second half, and that was good to us.
I know you guys have had a lot of confidence in Owen to shoot. You know, when he's finally gotten an opportunity to get onto the floor, you know, he's kind of struggling a little bit, but obviously he had a huge game. He hit some big shots when you guys are clawing back. Can you talk a little bit about?
Yeah, sure. It's crazy. Owen shoots 41% from the three in practice, and he shoots a lot of them. So for him to be shooting 7%, 12% from the three in games, you knew that the numbers were going to finally level up, right? And to Owen's credit, he never put his head down. He never lost confidence. He never quit working. And there's been games where he came in and obviously hit big threes. Tonight was one of those. So you know, you got to give him credit. You got to give him credit. It's a lot harder to shoot when they don't guard you than when they do guard
That's
you.
the fact. That's
Right? When people back off of you, you're in between. Do I shoot? Do I not shoot? And I'm always telling him to go get the ball to the rim and go dunk the thing. Right? So to his credit, though, I mean, he had the confidence, and in a moment of need, he was fantastic for us.
Was there a moment that you knew that it was falling for you? Like, the first shot is good, or did you have?
No, the first shot was a little bit short, but it was on target. So I for sure was like, all right, my shot's gonna be there. So I just decided to get to the rim the next time. Got a layup, and then we just got stops, and we just competing hard.
Were you surprised that they weren't going after you? At least, you know, like you said, they're trying to lock on Trey and other guys.
Nah, after I made the first 2 threes, they had Sharp come try to like not let me get the ball. But it was beneficial because we was moving the ball and playing hard, so it really didn't matter.
I feel like we're burying the lid a little bit. You guys were tournament champions for the second consecutive year. For all three of you, Coach, starting with you, what does that mean to you? 2 consecutive years.
Oh, I mean, I couldn't be more happy for these guys. I couldn't be more happy for our program. You know, as I've said several times, I mean, Dr. Miller, John Palumbo, those guys took a chance on me, and these guys took a chance on me. And I said from day one that we had enough, and we've had enough, you know. But it's surreal. You know, you obviously, you say, hey, we're going to win the league, we're going to win the tournament, we're going to go to the NCAAs and win games. But until you do it, there's no greater feeling in the world probably other than maybe the birth of my kids. It's a fantastic, but again, it's about these guys, and I couldn't be more proud of them, and they deserve it. And I told them at the beginning of the game, good people deserve good things, and they're good people.
You won the big trophy, but you've got the smaller trophy right there, most outstanding player. What does that one mean to you?
I'm shocked, but it means a lot just knowing that I was able to do whatever I could to help my team get the win, so we can get back to the tournament. Started off slow, but my guys were there to help me go. In second half, it was just my time. I didn't want to lose, and I stepped up.
Did you guys are down, I think, 15-16 in the first half. Is there something you were just trying to get it within a shouting distance in the first half, or did you think you could come all the way back and it was tied at the end of the first half after being down that big?
For sure. We knew we were gonna make shots. We started off slow, then Terrion going down, that shocked us. But after that, we regrouped a little bit, and then Owen came in, gave us a spark. He had probably like 12, 14 points in the first half, and he got us going. That got us going defensively, and then going into halftime, it was a new game. 31-31, we see it 0-0. So we came out halftime just talking about we have to win this half, and so we can get to where we want to be.
Coach, you guys are going back. Now you have a little experience in the tournament. Sunday you'll find out where you're going. What does that experience do for you guys now that you're going to second consecutive tournament?
Yeah, well, you know, I thank the Southland Conference for moving the title game up, number one, because last year we won on a Saturday night. You didn't get home till 3 in the morning. You have selection Sunday, and you're on a plane that's delayed a couple hours. You don't get the full experience. And to their credit, you know, they moved it up. I think that our experience will absolutely help us, but you never know. I mean, it's NCAA tournament. That's the great thing about college basketball is this NCAA tournament. I mean, you know, whether we're in Dayton in the playing game or we're a 16 seed or 15 seed, it doesn't matter. We're going. And it's something that these guys will never forget. And, you know, like, it can't be understated enough that Jalen Jackson has been to 4 straight NCAA tournaments at 2 different universities, but 4 straight NCAA tournaments. And that's hard to do, guys. It's really hard to do. So, you know, again, I'm just happy for these guys and couldn't be more proud of them.
So Jalen, leaning off that, what's your message to your younger teammates the freshmen who have never been to the tournament, kind of to soak it all in?
First, just soak it all in. Just enjoy it, because it's one of the best feelings in the world. As a kid, you dream of playing in the NCAA tournament. So now it's just enjoy it, but we got to continue to work, and let's not just be satisfied with getting there. Let's go win.
Coach, just a very brief word on Northwestern State, your opponent tonight. Obviously, DeMarcus Sharp, hell of a player and very hard to contain.
Yeah.
But what was your overall impressions of what they did tonight, and how you guys were able to combat them?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously I tip my hat to them. They every time we've played them, they've done something different to make us adjust. And I think, you know, Coach Gibson and those guys do a tremendous job coaching. Obviously, they've got a special talent in DeMarcus Sharp. You know, our goal obviously is never to let anybody get. I believe he got 32 on us tonight, but he got it in 31 shots, and you know, that's a lot of cracks at the rim. So if you're getting 31 shots and you get 32 points, you know, we've done a pretty good job defensively. But you know, they've got good players. They've got good kids. They're very classy. I couldn't say anything bad about them. You know, the roll of the dice sometimes, right? And they could easily be going to the NCAA tournament instead of us. I'm glad that they're not, obviously. But you know, what he's done with that program is unbelievable. It's not easy, guys. It's not easy.
Whether it be Dayton or the first round, what's the one kind of thing you want to clean up on before you guys get started in March Madness?
I'll need to watch the tape, but off the top of my head, we turned the ball over way too much against the press.
I turned it over way too much.
So, you know, we'll have to clean that up. And, you know, obviously you hope that you don't end up playing in a team that presses 40 minutes, you know, maybe in Arkansas, one of those kind of guys. But I don't know. I at this point, there's no reason to, you know, look at the bad. There's no bad tonight, right? Other than Terran Murdoch's getting hurt, there is absolutely no bad in anything that happened to us.
The good thing is you get some sweet shirts when you go to the big time.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
One more question, guys.
How long will you allow yourself to celebrate before the question?
Well, unfortunately, I've got to go recruiting, so I'm going to leave tonight and drive, and I'll be recruiting for the next couple days. These guys don't know it yet, but they're going to have the next 2 days off. I'll fly home. Hopefully, I'll fly home Friday night or Saturday morning, and we'll practice on Saturday and Sunday, enjoy Sunday, and then we'll see what happens. But they deserve the time off. I mean, everybody's banged up this time of year, but, you know, I mean, these guys gave their heart for our program in this university, and they deserve the time off.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thanks.
Forgive
Yeah,
me,
for sure.
one more.
Yeah, no worries.
What's the plan for the selection Sunday show?
We'll have a big event on campus. You know, I mean, the great thing about this is that our university and our city has really embraced this. I mean, you saw the crowd tonight. We had a bus full of students that came. That's never happened before, right? We had obviously a lot of people that came as well. And so the community will come out. We'll have a watch party, you know, somewhere in one of those big ballrooms, and we'll wait for our name to be called, and then we'll get to work.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.